Okay, so where do we start for proper supplementation? Well, just start with a hierarchy. You got to start at baseline. You guys have heard me say this now for the last like 7, 8 years as I travel around the world, talk about, play span. How do you get your play span to match your lifespan so you can keep doing things, stay active and independent your entire life, which is a big problem that most adults can't, right? So you start there. You got to do that first. And then you got the rest of it coming here, all right? Now you can start adding things to accelerate your goals. And baseline supplements, we all seen everything here, is the multivitamin mineral, which includes very high vitamin D and pretty high vitamin C as well. That fills all the micronutrient gaps. When you make a real one, I always say this, ours is complete. The ones you buy in the mass market are incomplete. So incomplete multivitamin, if you want to go to the mass market, you have to buy like 6 different products to get one like ours. So it costs you 10 times more. So you have the complete multivitamin mineral with high vitamin D, high vitamin C to fill your micronutrient gaps, right? And then of course, if you're not eating fish, you're going to need this. And I like the idea of, again, we talked about there that if you're not getting fish, anywhere from maybe 2 to 4, probably 4 to 6 servings a week of it, then you're going to have to take an omega-3 supplement, and probably 1 is good enough to add to that. And of course, the only reason calcium's down here, it is a mineral, and I'd love to put it in the multivitamin mineral for you, but some people don't need it, and you don't want to go over it, number 1. And number 2, if you do need it, it's a separate pill because it's just too big to fit in the multi. And of course, if you don't get enough calcium and you're an athlete, you've got a real problem as far as snapping, bones very early in life. Okay, and then of course the protein we already talked about. So that's baseline. Don't even work with someone unless they're doing it. So I always use this. Well, why? Why do I have to do that? So I get these, big, strong 20-year-old athletes, right? And they go, why do I have to do that? I'll tell you why. Because we already know right here, that's the gaps from food alone. This is fortified food around the world. These are the gaps. Everyone is low on at least 10, 15 different vitamins and minerals. Everyone. There's no exception to that. Everyone. All of you that, I know you guys all take a vitamin and mineral, but I'm just saying, every one of your customers, your family members that are not taking a multivitamin mineral are falling into at least 4, 5, or 6 of these categories. Crazy, huh? So that means here, food alone gets you to this point. Well, what does that mean to me, right? Your vitamin mineral activity is somewhere between 60 and 85% of its potential. That's what food gets for you. You don't just accidentally get all the stuff your body can use by eating food. That's arrogant or ignorant, to even think that. But why? Well, because you are in an insufficiency, because you should be here. And if you can be here, all of a sudden, I didn't make the RDAs up. The greatest scientists in the world did, right? And so this is where we need to be for best health outcomes. So we need to increase our vitamin mineral intake to here, hit the RDA, come up here, and we have 100% vitamin mineral activity. Now I got an athlete I can work with. Now I got a foundation, right, that I can work with. So, and again, the point is this, is no one knows if they're in a deficiency because they're going to work, they're going to school, they're going to the gym every day. And almost everybody, as you can see here, I mean, literally everybody is in an insufficiency of some kind. And that puts you in here, right? So that's what you got to do. I got to move you to that center place. So just very simply, it is an undetectable starting place. What an insufficiency, an undetectable starting point with an insidious progression that physically manifests as sickness or injury later in life or your career, or what we call early aging, right? Our number 1 problem. And our whole immune systems are all broken down because of this. Trust me. Anyway, so the bottom line is vitamin minerals from food is what the body gets. The gap is what between that and what the body can use, and that's what the RDA is, to maximize short and long-term health. So my goal is this, right? Our goal before I even work with an athlete, before I even talk to him, is the prevention before cure or fix approach, right? There's where you are. I got to get you there. Bingo. Now let's go to work. Now let's go to work. And by the way, that costs you 25 cents a day. Okay. All right. And and we're talking about immunity now. That's why everybody's listening to us now. I got 2 papers in peer review right now that are going to talk all about this, about immunity. I mean, we've forgotten about the fact that our whole immune system is vitamin mineral dependent, right? Anyway, so the bottom line is all the way here. The function of a lifelong, inexpensive, complete multivitamin is to offer the potential for vitamin mineral dependent systems to operate at full capacity in the creation, maintenance of human structure, function, health, and recovery. And that's why we have the prenatal that's mandatory for every mom as they're conceiving, right? That wiped out 30% of birth defects in 1 lousy multivitamin mineral taken. Why would you stop? So keep that in mind. That's the reason we do all that. Bottom line is the correction, no gaps. Now I have 100%. Now I got something to work with.